Welcome back to the Complete Game community. This week I want to take a couple minutes to follow up on my coaching video from last week talking about LinkedIn engagement. Now, if you haven't had a chance to watch the video yet, please do. I sent it in the email group, the text group, so if you're in one or the other, you definitely got it from me on Friday. In the video, I talked about how you can create better engagement with your target prospects on LinkedIn. And it starts with you giving versus going to the platform to try to take. We talked about how you can use the search button to search geographically, using hashtags to search for content. And then when you find the content being posted by the first and second connections that are your target prospects, you need to start commenting on it, engage with it, hit the like button. Now the question becomes, how do I comment? What kind of comment should I create, Andy, or leave? That's what I want to talk to you about today.
Shift your mindset.
So, how do you create better engagement on LinkedIn? Now it's time to go look at those social media posts from your first and second connections, and you want to try to strike up a dialogue. What can you say? Well, first, here's what you shouldn't do. Number one, just please don't leave emojis. Now, once in a while, I share emojis in my comments, but I will dovetail the emoji with a sentence, a phrase, a couple sentences, a comment. It blows me away, people who use just emojis to comment on somebody's social media post, whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, because I want you to think about this. Imagine instead of leaving a comment on somebody's social media post, you were actually standing next to that individual in a room and they made the same comment that they posted on social media. Would you react with an emoji? Would you react just by going like this, showing a heart, a smile? No! You would say something, right? That's what the commenting in LinkedIn post is for. So, the big question I want you to ask yourself when it comes time to engage, to leave a comment, is this. If you were standing in the same room with this individual who has made this social media post, you were next to each other networking at a live event, and they made that same comment that they just made on LinkedIn, what would you say? Let me give you an example. I worked with a client last week who we walked through the strategy together. And I said, okay, let's go find some content from your target prospects in your geographic market. So we looked up the city he's in, found some great content from some CFOs in his market. The first piece of content was this. A CFO of a hospitality group that serves the hotel market had posted a picture of a Marriott in this city that was about to be finished. And he was excited to say, hey, look how beautiful this hotel is. It's almost done. Our hospitality group is going to be able to serve this great hotel in the next coming weeks. So I said, okay, now I want you to imagine that instead of that CFO making that post on LinkedIn, he was standing right next to you in a room, you were networking, and he pulled out his phone and he showed you the same picture of this beautiful hotel. And he said, man, doesn't this thing look beautiful? Our hospitality group is about to serve this hotel. I'm really excited. What would you say? My client simply said, I'd say, that's awesome. It looks great. I said, exactly. That is what you should be posting in the comments. Now, what if you wanted to continue the conversation? You wanted to try to strike up a dialogue. What would you do? He said, I'd probably ask a question. Exactly. When's the hotel going to be done? What part of town is that hotel in? Folks, that's how you create engagement on LinkedIn. Is I want you to imagine if you were standing in the room with that individual who's making the social media post, and they posted the same content, but instead of it being on a platform, it came out of their mouth, what would you say? That's exactly what you should be saying when you leave comments on LinkedIn. It is an amazing way to create engagement, strike up potential dialogues, and you never know where the conversation is going to go from there. Eventually, you know what's going to happen. That target prospect's going to look up your profile and say, who is this guy? Who is this woman commenting on my content? And before you know it, they may be asking you what you do. And that is what you want to have anyways. So take time to go on LinkedIn, create engagement, go find those posts from your target prospects and start leaving good comments. Remember, imagine that you're at a live networking event standing shoulder to shoulder with this individual. What would you say if they made those same posts out of their mouth versus a LinkedIn platform? Because at the end of the day, guess what? LinkedIn is the world's largest networking party and it's free. So that is how you are going to create better engagement, better comments, and you will strike up conversations with your target prospects, and eventually they will lead to dialogue offline where you are on a call on a Zoom chat, and before you know it, they are a hot prospect that's about to hire you. So if you have any questions, you know where to find me, but this is how you take your LinkedIn engagement by leaving next level comments to the next level. Now go make it happen.